It is Saturday, November 1st, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. What a weekend of sports we have ahead of us. Let's start with what happened last night, though. The Warriors and Sharks didn't play, but the Blue Jays and Dodgers did, and it was a crazy game. The Dodgers struck first in the third inning with a double from Smith, and then Mookie Betts hit a two-run single. Then George Springer hit a RBI single in the bottom of the third to respond, and that was it. Those were the only runs of the game. The two starting pitchers were pretty good. Gosman, the losing pitcher, went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 8. All of his runs were earned. And then Yamamoto went 6 innings as well. 1 earned run on 5 hits and a walk, struck out 6. Both pitchers were very good, but their offenses did not give them much. Although in Yamamoto's case, 3 is a pretty good number. Um, and then both bullpens were good. They did not give up. Um, well, the Blue Jays pitched. Um, they pitched 3 innings in relief. They gave up only 1 hit and 2 walks over that span. So the Blue Jays bullpen did a great job. Dodgers bullpen was a little bit more stressful. It was Robleski, Sasaki, and then Tyler Glasnow, which we'll have to get into later. That's a big point for today's Game 7. But yeah, Game 6 ended with second and well, the ninth inning was the most important inning of this game. Not only because it was the last one, because what happened in it. There was a leadoff um, hit by pitch for Alejandro Kirk. He got hit by a pitch. They pinch ran for him with straw. Then Addison Barger came up and he hit a ground rule double. And it was a nice hit. 105 off the bat in the left field gap, and it got stuck. It got wedged on the fly underneath the wall. So they called it a ground rule double. If it wasn't, Straw would have scored from first, and it would have been no outs, runner on second, with Jimenez due up. Or Clement due up rather. He could have bunted him over, or Jimenez was up after Clement. So there was definitely some small ball that could have been an aspect there, but instead there was second and third, nobody out. So the winning run on second, or the tying run on second base, winning run at the plate with nobody out. And on the first pitch that Clement sees, he pops it up. And that pitch was from Tyler Glasnow, which is important because he would have been the starter today. But he came into the game yesterday to pitch. And I've been saying over the postseason that the Dodgers bullpen is faulty. They're not good. And Dave Roberts proved my point here by with Sasaki already having pitched. And instead of going to any of his relievers, he went to a starter out of the bullpen, Tyler Glasnow, and he did a good job. So yeah, a pop out on the first pitch, which is so uncharacteristic for Clement and the Blue Jays as a team. And the next one, Jimenez swung at the second pitch, and he lined one out to left field. It was a soft liner, 81 miles an hour off the bat. Could have dropped, but it did not. Kike Hernandez caught the ball. It wasn't even a spectacular catch, but Barger was trying to score from second, so he got a big secondary lead, and he couldn't get back to second base in time, and he got doubled off there. A 7-4 double play to end the inning. I can't remember ever seeing one of those to end the game, not just the inning. And the Dodgers won 3-1. And so just the uncharacteristic mistakes from the Blue Jays, both hitting the baseball and on the base paths. They should be better than that. They had a chance to tie the game, um, and they could not do it. They had second and third, nobody out, and they couldn't get a single run. And that's when you're trying to win the World Series, that's not good enough. And it's obviously not good enough because they lost the game. But let's talk about Tyler Glasnow, who got this save after pitching 1 inning. He only threw 3 pitches, and that is massive because if the Blue Jays were to really run up his pitch count maybe in the inning or even score off him a couple times, it could really affect the way today went. But instead, 3 innings makes it so Glasnow he's not necessarily tired. I mean, obviously he still had to warm up and do everything, so there's gonna be an impact, but not as big as it could have been, and that's a huge bonus, a huge you know, it's definitely went the Dodgers' way. It could have been a lot worse for them. So now Glasnow could come out of the bullpen, and he could go for a couple of innings, 3, 4, 5 innings maybe if they have to, and he's not necessarily fresh, but he is ready to go. And so Dodgers kind of lucked out there. But as for tonight, Game 7 of the World Series, I said it last time when the Mariners were playing the Blue Jays, and in Game 7, I said Game 7s are always a treat for everyone. They're so much fun, just the atmosphere and the stakes. This is for the whole dang thing. This is for the championship. And it's Game 7 of the World Series, and of course, Shohei Ohtani is going to be on the mound starting the game. He could go a normal workload for him. Depends on how well he's pitching, of course. If he's rolling, they're not going to take him out. But if he starts to get in trouble, he might not go 5 or 6 innings. He could go 3 or 4 because Glasnow is ready for him. And the same thing for the Blue Jays starter Max Scherzer, the 3-time Cy Young, against the 3-time MVP. That's the pitching matchup, so that's pretty exciting. But Scherzer, you don't expect him to go deep unless he's on a roll. So I expect a combination of Scherzer and Bieber for the Blue Jays to get into the bullpen. And for the Dodgers, I expect Shohei Ohtani and Tyler Glasnow. And of course, it's Game 7 of the World Series. So you can throw everything out the window in terms of pitch counts and trying to save guys for the next game because there isn't a next game. So they're going to use up every single arm as much as they can. They're going to try and squeeze everything out of it. And it's going to be interesting to see how the managers play this because it's the last game of the year for it all. You want to know are they going to change it up? Are they going to stick with what got them there? Are they going to micromanage? Or are they going to let the game kind of play out? So that's what I'll be watching for sure. And now we come to predictions. Who do I think is going to win the World Series tonight? I think it's going to be the Blue Jays. I think it will be I predicted that at the start of the World Series. I'm sticking with it. I think the Blue Jays' home field advantage is too good for them to lose 2 games in a row. But the Mariners beat them in games 1 and 2 of the ALCS in Toronto. So could it happen again? Yes. Will it happen again? No. Toronto to win tonight. I'm not sure what the score would be. I assume kind of medium scoring, not low scoring, not high scoring, right in the middle. Maybe 4 or 5 runs, maybe 3 runs, depending on how the starting pitching is, of course. But the Dodgers offense has been cold, and the Blue Jays offense has been good, but they weren't good yesterday. But that was because the Gosman and Yamamoto were pitching. They've been fantastic in the postseason, especially Yamamoto. So this is going to be super exciting. Game 7 of the World Series tonight. We also have college football going on. The Warriors play the 0-5 Pacers. The Sharks and Avalanche play as well. They're already going right now. And, of course, college football. Always good. So that's what's going on. What's going on in sports. We got 49ers tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on tomorrow. And we'll talk about that then. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. What a day this is going to be.